Hey guys, Greg Everett here, Catalyst Athletics, back again. I think this is number 12. That is exactly 1 dozen for those of you who use obsolete measurement systems. All right, I have no idea what day this is. I think this is a Saturday, actually, now that I actually think about it here. First one was Audra, 50 kilo snatch. China, a little snatch plus overhead squat. She tends to, you can see it on that one, she jumped forward a little bit. She tends to pick up her feet off the floor a little too soon. In other words, she doesn't keep the pressure against the platform as she finishes that extension quite long enough. And if one does that, they will tend to go forward a little bit. So if they can keep that pressure down as they finish the leg and the hip extension, not only will it help them get that bar a little higher, but it's going to help them stay directly under the bar when they transition under rather than getting pulled forward. We'll see if she fixes it on this one. So you get a good drive in the ground with that pole here. It's better. Still scooting forward a little bit. Steve here, 130 clean and jerk. Got a good jerk. He's got a good drive on his jerk. He'll get low if he really has to, but generally he drives that bar pretty high and doesn't have to get too low. So we'll see. I think we talked about on the last one. We'll see how he does as his cleans go up here. Heather, 48 kilo snatch. So this is definitely a Saturday. These guys are snatching and clean and jerking heavy singles, which is pretty typical for my programs. And of course, you know, I get that from my coach, Mike Bergner. A number of other coaches tend to do that. For competitive lifters, it's really great to have that very frequent, regular practice of snatching and clean and jerking heavy on the same day. You know, lifters who never snatch and clean and jerk heavy on the same day in training, that was better for China. Tend to get to a competition and possibly do very well in the snatch and then realize they still have to clean and jerk. And mentally, that can be really difficult if you're not used to it. So, you know, these days, you know, we use the word heavy, obviously. Some days are quite a bit heavier than others. Some days a heavy single is 85%, and that feels like about 125%. But the point is, no matter how much the weight is, it's difficult for that day, and you're learning mentally to commit to those lifts and to kind of you know, be aggressive in less than ideal circumstances. It's going to feel a hell of a lot better when you're actually tapered, you know, for a competition versus, you know, having the last 3 weeks be really brutal, high volume, Monday through Thursday, and then coming into a Saturday expected to snatch and clean and jerk heavy. And, you know, you can't feel your legs, and it feels like you haven't slept, and your legs are a couple of hollow glass tubes. So that one, she cut her drive off way too soon. Scooted forward quite a bit. Strong overhead squatter. I think she's done 100 or thereabouts. So there's Steve was over pulling a little bit, and then it pushes him back in that squat position, but still pulls off that jerk. It's 160 kilos. Clearly wasn't super happy about that after he dropped the bar. Little Jess, 48 kilo lifter. This is 63. I don't know what it was with the camera today, but I was not holding it very level. So you can see in that one, she tends to lean forward when she dips for the jerk. We've been working on that. She also tends to try to jerk with her elbows way too high, and she ends up pushing that bar forward. And she doesn't step through it. She kind of steps straight down with her front foot and then overreaches her back foot like that.
Push through the floor.
Brian here, this looks like 195. I think this was like the first time he had done clean and jerk in quite a long time because his wrist had been bothering him. So for having not done anything overhead for several weeks, that wasn't bad. 195. German Dave, I don't know if he's going to snatch or power snatch here. It's 85 kilos. Believe it or not, that's a snatch for him. That's about as low as his squat gets these days. I've given up trying to make him get lower. That's just pretty much where his body will go at this stage of his life. Audra looks like 63. I think she was probably going up to a heavy single here and then had a back off 2+1, 2 clean, 1 jerk. Danielle. See, she's got not the greatest ankle flexibility, so when she hits the bottom of those cleans, she's forced to sit back a little farther than she ideally would, which means she can't catch a good bounce, and so that's where her struggle is. She can pretty much pull and turn over anything, but she's really got to fight for that bottom position, and we're working on that. She does a lot of presses in the clean position, presses in the snatch position as part of her warm-ups. Started doing clean grip overhead squats with her, both to get her upper back stronger and also kind of stretch out those ankles and hips. Her 65, that was a lot better. Stayed a little more balanced. She's got probably the best jerk in the gym. If she cleans it, she's going to jerk it. There's Bruce Wilhelm in the background there, watching Brian, another 195 clean. He was an Olympian, I believe 5th place in the Olympics, but with the same total as the bronze medalist, and that was with only one clean and jerk because he blew out his knee on his second or third attempt. And then he also won the first 2 ever World's Strongest Man contests, so quite the stud. Jess here, 69 kilos, not quite. I just didn't have any gas on it at all, but you can also see how she just pushes that bar forward off her shoulders rather than back, and doesn't step through it at all. So we're working on that. Her best jerk is, I think, 73 or 74. Best clean and jerk is 70. So kind of trying to get that together there. All right, guys. Sorry about my slow, monotonous tone today. I've been traveling a lot, and I am pretty wasted. So we'll see you guys next week.